Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Atlanta Falcons. With that, let's get up to Atlanta. We're standing by at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We thought the old place was loud. Somehow this place got even louder a short time ago as the Falcons were introduced to this sellout crowd. We're set to go as the Falcons get ready to match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And, partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
On to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And we are underway here on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the man taking number 3 overall back in 2008. It's their now veteran quarterback, Matt Ryan.
And at times, it's hard for me to believe I'm saying veteran Matt Ryan. Still remember him coming out of Boston College, full of enthusiasm, mastered their 2-minute drill in his first OTA. What a player.
Ready, ready. Right there in the middle, 55. Man out, man out, man out, man out. Ready, set.
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Switch up, switch up.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Looking downfield for Jones. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The Falcons send out their punter. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. This is taken at the 23. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Let's get in there. Check 13. Check 13.
First carry for James Conner. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards that time, but a Pittsburgh first. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
They'll run with the NC State man. It's Jalen Samuels. And a short gain down to about the 33. Grady Jarrett with the tackle. Offensive starters, here they are. David DeCastro, what do you think about him, Charles?
Brandon could not have been better trained at Stanford. So well schooled in the run game and the pass game, and especially in pro principles. David DeCastro could be an all-pro in the years to come.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They go draw play. This is Samuels. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And it's brought in by Washington. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd and a couple, Roethlisberger. And that's incomplete. The starting defense for the Falcons.
Many people thought Keanu Neal was overdrafted by Atlanta, but they saw his talents and knew that he would fit their scheme perfectly. A hybrid player, can play deep in the secondary as a safety, can drop down into the box and also make a lot of tackles, and at times can stay on the field and serve a linebacker role as well.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
Bud Dupree came out of the University of Kentucky determined to let everyone know that they play football there as well as basketball. A terrific pass rusher off the edge.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, watch the slant.
From the shotgun, Ryan. It's caught by Treadwell. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Ryan to the right side and complete to Hurst. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On the counter, Gurley. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now Ryan on 1st down. And this one to Treadwell, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. Now it's Ryan. He completes it to Treadwell. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 yards, 1st down Atlanta. Ryan in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
4 catches now on this drive alone. They can't stop him. It's another 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Again, Ryan to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Ryan, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Here's Ryan, and he gets this one to Ridley complete. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
So with 4th down looming, Dan Quinn sends out his field goal unit. And his kick is indeed good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Let's bring it.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here we go.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll try and run forward with Connor, and he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
All right, now.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
That's what I do.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under.
Left 30.
Check 45, come on. Exit.
On 2nd down, it's Connor, and he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Now it's Roethlisberger, and that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On fourth down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Ready, blue 80, black 25.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. Alert flare, alert flare, flare, flare.
All right, 25 today.
He'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Here's Ryan to throw. He completes it to Julio Jones. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Here's Switzer. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Set. 180.
52. Check the out, check the out, check the out.
On 1st down, Connor. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
On 2nd down, Samuels. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Connor, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, second down. Well, he can be a load to handle off the edge, and he can do it against the pass. Sure, he can do it against the run like he did there.
And you mentioned a load. How about having to adjust to his speed as well? Because not only does he bring some pop, he brings some dash as well. A nice play on that situation.
Black 80.
You gotta get the ball, D. Get the ball right here.
Black is there. Black is there.
On second down now, it's Connor. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
Right there.
That's a loss of 8 yards there to bring up third. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays.
Black, what's that? Black, what's that?
Now Roethlisberger. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again on offense, we get a peek at Julio Jones now. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Play action. It's Ryan. He completes it to Jones. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The end result, 21 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Ryan. He gets it to Gurley, complete. Not able to go anywhere that time, second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Ryan. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Now Ryan. And that will be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Black 20.
Mike 45. Wild Bill.
They begin on the ground here with Connor. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that they have to punt the ball. They've done so with that first run.
A little more room here on 2nd and 6 from the 6. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
Black 20.
Come on. Here we go. Watch 7.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
All right, now.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Roethlisberger will hand to Connor. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
It's just me and you.
Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Roethlisberger. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 45-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Roethlisberger, complete to Washington. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Here's Connor, and he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
It's out time. It's out time, guys. It's out time.
On 2nd down, it's Connor, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Johnson's got it complete. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10, and he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Now it's Connor. They find some open field here, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. 24 yards, and the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Boswell for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive spans 13 plays. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now Gurley. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Gurley now out of the gun. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That's a first down and then some. A 32-yard pickup. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Gurley. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
I'm coming for you. You mine.
To throw is Ryan. Blitz coming, and down he goes. T.J. Watt coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
We got 3 down, 3 down.
3rd and long. It's Ryan. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Terrell Edmonds comes flying in from safety for the sack. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
The Falcons send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target, and it's 2nd down. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. On the counter, it's Connor. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch left, watch left. Tight end to the left, tight end left.
Shotgun handoff to Samuels. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And this one is right down the middle. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at their own 27. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. This pass into the hands of the running back, Todd Gurley. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Ryan. Wide open receiver complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Couple of nice plays right in a row, and it's a Falcon 1st down yet again. First down now, but the clock continues to move.
Watch 98. Watch 98. 98's the mic.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cam Hayward, always a force, got back there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Time a factor as Ryan will hustle him to the line. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Operating from the gun, Ryan. And this one to Treadwell, complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
While sometimes it doesn't appear like much, the out route can be very dangerous when you throw it to a guy like Julio Jones. If you try and undercut it, he can turn into a big play. But the reason he's able to get it so often is because of his ability to push people deep, and they have to respect that.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Final play of the half. It's Ryan. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has certainly been one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference as the teams have already come back out onto the field for the second half. So let's get you back out as well to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on Here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Third quarter starts with a run from Connor, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On the carry, it's Samuels. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
White 80.
Mike 45. I got you, pump.
On 3rd down, Connor. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. Covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Ready. Get ready.
Check 55 to Mike. Here we go, D. Here I come again.
Got it to go.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And Gurley here fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Ito Smith, his first carry. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
The Falcons send out their punter. as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Switzer on the return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll start the drive with Samuels. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
52. You must be dreaming.
On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger setting up the screen. This is Samuels. And give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Here's Connor. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Black 80.
Rip left, rip left.
They go draw play. This is Samuels. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Staying on the ground with Samuels. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here we go. Black 20.
45. They can't hang with us.
Black,
On 3rd down, it's Connor, and they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Samuels. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. Here's Samuels again. And just shedding him off there. 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. That's complete to his running back, Connor. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Boswell's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like that one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a draw play for Gurley. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Watch the twist, watch the twist.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They go play action with Ryan. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at one 48-yard line and ended at the other.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. T.J. Watt make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the gun, it's Ryan. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game. Running to start the drive is Samuels. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
Roethlisberger. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. On 1st and 10 is counter. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the the ball. Let's keep moving.
Black, what's that?
On second down, Samuels. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Here's Roethlisberger. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Roethlisberger now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Falcons grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Hey, they're scared. They're scared.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Let's go, defense. Here we go.
Here's Ryan to throw. This one caught by Ridley. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now Ryan. And he will find Ridley. That's complete.
Get him, boy. Get him, boy.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Ryan. Jones has it. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 30.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Here's Ryan, and they'll set up the screen to Gurley. 4 yards on the dump off at 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To throw again is Ryan. It's caught by Treadwell. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
We're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
Now Ryan on first down. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Ryan, this complete to Jones. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
To throw is Ryan. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is good. And that will close the gap down to 14. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Here's Samuels. And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Johnson's got it complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Now it's Roethlisberger. Setting up the screen, this is Samuels. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Roethlisberger now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. And he's taken down inside the 30. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
That 180.
45.
Right back to Connor here on 1st. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Dante Fowler in on the stop. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Tyler Davison hauling it off the edge to sack him. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This to make it a 3-score game late. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Now this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game, and that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up first. And he loses the football a second time. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. From the shotgun, Ryan. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now it's Ryan. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. The Falcons will go for it. It's Ryan. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. Back to the air. Ryan after the pick 6. Complete to Jones. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. It's a gain of 16. 1st down Falcons. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Ryan. And that one's complete to Gurley. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing again on second down. Ryan. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Throwing again, Ryan. The open man is Smith. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Again, Ryan. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Down, ready, you ready? All right, T, let's go. All right, T.
On first down, Ryan. This one caught by Ridley. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Ryan will throw again. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. His throw caught right around the 6. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Laquan Treadwell there to make the grab, and the Falcons cut into that lead.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will be cut down to 14. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
White 80.
Check 45 to Mike. Hey, keep it up, keep it up.
On first down, Connor. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. On the stop there defensively, Tyler Davison. Decent start defensively to this series. They've got to stop them here and get this ball back.
I like the way you phrase that, partner. Decent start, but now it's got to be more about the ball. It's all about the ball, getting it away from them, because making good tackles is one thing, but the clock will run out on you. You've got to have the football back for your offense.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Again, it's Connor. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Third and 10. Expect a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been terrific so far. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. So Ryan and the Falcons down by 2 touchdowns. A little under 1:50 remaining. Field goals, useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order.
Ready. Ready.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Caught by Jones. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Clock running here, under 90 seconds to go.
Check 55, Mike.
Come on. Ready,
Looking to throw again on second down. Ryan. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Ryan. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Dumps it off to Gurley. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it a second down. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. He completes it to Jones. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 29-yard line.
Mike 25! Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up.
They go play action now. Ryan. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. Good night, everybody.